欢迎大家来到优酷全明星，有请本期主讲人倪坤。
大家好 and welcome to Youku 全明星. I am today's speaker, Nichkhun. Hello everybody, and I am Nichkhun, and you guys may know who I am, but for those people who don't know who I am Nichkhun, and I came from Thailand. I was born in America. I came from Thailand, but my parents are Chinese. Actually, my mom's side is from Hainan, so I feel at home to be working in China and seeing my Chinese fans. So how I got into JYP was back in 2005, I think, when I went to a Korean concert, and I ran into the casting managers, and they asked me to audition for JYP. And I did, and I got into the company in 2006. I started training, and at that time, I was pretty much the only foreigner in JYP. And then maybe a year later, Meng Jie and Fei Fei came into the company. So when I started training at the company, they had me learn Korean and Chinese at the same time. And back then it was just really confusing to me because I was trying to be good at Korean at the same time. They wanted me to learn Chinese too, so I wasn't good at neither of them. And they were really giving me a lot of problems. But I trained for about 2 years, and then we made the debut in 2008. September 2008 as 2 p.m. Thank you. So how my company JYP discovered me was I was at this Korean festival with my Korean friends in America, in LA, and I was watching the concert, and some lady approached me and asked me if I wanted to be a star. But at the time, I was really shy. I was a shy boy. I couldn't. I was shy. I couldn't. I couldn't even speak in front of the classroom without shaking like this. So at the time, I said no. I didn't want to because my fans would know. I started off with not knowing how to sing or dance or being on stage at all. So, and even I couldn't even speak Korean. So I said no. I refused at first, but then they kept calling me. So I was like, okay, let's meet up and let's have a meeting. So I asked them to come to a coffee shop close to my house in America, and then they came to the coffee shop. Do you know what coffee shop it is? And so, we sat down, we started talking. They started explaining to me about JYP, how Rain was in the company, and how Park Jin-young, Jin Young is in the company, and how they've worked with so many artists over in Hollywood and in America. And as they were explaining to me about the company, 2 other people started setting up a camera outside of the cafe. And after they were done, they called me outside, and they told me to stand in front of the camera and introduce myself. At first, I didn't want to do it, but then I was like, okay, introducing myself shouldn't be that hard. So I was like, okay, I'll do this. But I won't sing or dance. They were like, okay, don't worry about it. So I stood in front of the camera. I said, hi everybody, I'm Kun. I'm from America. I'm 17 years old, blah, 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 blah. And then after I was done, they said, let's try singing. And the camera was already rolling, so I couldn't just say no. So I sang. And it was a big disaster. And after a while, I couldn't sing. After a while, they told me to stop. They were like, okay, this is not working. Let's try something else. Can you dance? I said no, but then they pulled in this big truck, and they turned on. I remember it was Usher's "Yeah," the song. They turned on the stereo so loud that everyone was staring at me. Everyone in the cafe was staring at me, and they told me to dance. I think it was just like 5 seconds before they told me to stop because I couldn't dance. And then they were like, okay, let's try something that might work. Let's do some poses in front of the camera. And I did. And okay, that was the whole my audition tape. I don't think you'll be able to find it. I'm not gonna watch it ever. And so after I was done that day, they said they would contact me within 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And then I went back home. They went back to Korea. They had a talk with their management team, casting team, and they decided to put me in the company. And they called me back. They told me to come to Korea right away. And I asked my parents. My grandmother was a big fan of Rain, so she said, same company, so why not give it a try? It could be like a 1 in a million opportunity. So let's try it, and that's how I got into the company, and I started training. That was 2006 April. 2006, I went and started training. It was harder than I thought because of all the pressure I was getting, and I wasn't able to speak Korean, didn't have any friends or family, or I didn't know anyone or the culture. So it was really hard for me at first. So within the first 3 months, I called my parents and I told them that I wanted to go back to school and just go back to America and just be normal, be myself. But then my dad asked me, do you want a brighter future? Do you want to become something? Because he told me that if I went back to school, I would become pretty much nobody. Because he knew how I just like to play sports and just hang out with friends. So he asked me, do you want to try and become somebody, or do you want to be nobody? And I said, I'm gonna try. And I did try. I started trying. And when I first got there, they had me go to this Korean language institution school. And I started taking Korean, and then they put me into singing class, dancing, and rap, acting, acrobatics, pretty much everything. They wanted me to become a perfect performer. But then the problem was I was so bad at everything, and everybody else in the company at the time, Junho and Junkei, and they were in the company and they were really good. So I was really feeling a bit down and sad because I couldn't meet the expectations of the people in the company, even with Korean. So I really wanted to give up. That's when I called my dad, and he talked to me, I talked to him. And after that, I decided to give it a try. I didn't care about what people would think about me. And actually, I asked a lot of advices from, Junkei and Junho, Surong, Kwan. And they really helped me out a lot with. I started making friends. After I started making friends and I started making myself more Korean, I learned more about the culture. I started to feel more at home, more comfortable, more relaxed. That's when I started to feel like I could try better. I could be better. I have to be better for the company, for my parents, for myself, for my future. And that's when I started training. And that's the Korean culture. You might know the word pali pali, right? that but the Korean people like everything to be fast. They want me to develop within a year, 2 years, so that I can go out and become a singer. So at first I wasn't used to that, but after a while, I got used to the word pali pali, and I wanted myself to develop as fast as faster than they would expect me to. So I really pushed myself really hard to become better. Well, okay. So as I said, I started with no basics at all, and the other people in the company were really good. So I try to improve myself by not comparing myself to them, but comparing myself to me a month before, yes, or a day before, a week before, and I just try to, like when I'm singing, when I would sing, I would record myself and hear myself whether I sound bad or good, but of course it was bad. So I would sing again, record again, sing again, record again. I would let the other guys or my teacher listen to my recordings and ask them if like what I should improve, and they would give me tips and pointers on what I'm missing or what I should practice on. And with dancing, same thing. I would film myself, or I would dance with my teacher next to me or someone who's really good at dancing next to me, so they can tell me like when I'm doing this move, I should be a little slower. I should put more feelings into this move, or whatnot. So I think it's just that kind of process that I went through to make myself better, is not compare myself with other people. I make everybody in the company to be my teacher, so I can learn a little something from everybody. So not just from my real teachers, but actually the trainees, other trainees in the company as well. And I think that's the positive thinking. So and that's a really good way to becoming better. If you're trying at anything, studying or like let's say studying, I'm sure even if you're smarter than your friend next to you, I'm sure your friend next to you might know something that you don't. So just take this kind of thinking, and if you want to improve yourself at something, just think of yourself as you're not the best at what you're doing, but people around you, and that people around you are better than you. That way you stay humble, and you can learn more, and people want to teach you more. People want to give you more tips and advices. Well, back when I couldn't speak Korean, I had Taekyon. We would always go around together all the time. And I was being lazy, I was being bad because I didn't want to study. Who wants to well, some people might want to study. I didn't want to study. So I would take Tech with me around everywhere, and he would translate everything for me. And after a while, the people in the company started saying that you guys can't be together anymore. You guys have to separate, because they wanted me to learn Korean. And in Korean, there's if you put the word yo in at the end of a sentence, it means it's a formal way of saying something. And when I first met Jin Young, in English there's no word as yo. Same in Chinese, right? So when I first met Jin Young, I said 안녕하세요. That means ni hao, and then I was like, 밥 먹었어? That means 주발르마, but then I was supposed to put yo at the end because he's older than me, and he's the CEO of the company. So that was my first mistake, and I mean he knew I was a foreigner. He knew I couldn't speak Korean well, so he didn't really mind that. And I tried to fix myself as soon as I saw his expression was priceless, because people would like bow down to him because he's a CEO and he's a very famous artist. People would bow down to him, and I was the first one to go and first younger person to go 밥 먹었어, he would be like, and then he's like, oh, so he's Nichkhun from America, and he forgave me. But then my members next to me were like, you have to be careful when you're talking to an elderly in Korea. You have to be polite. You have to say yo. You have to address them properly. And that's how I learned. And I never made that mistake again, I think. When I was a trainee, what was difficult? Everything was difficult for me. Because I was so bad at everything. What was most difficult was, I guess, seeing myself not improving fast enough, and watching people next to me, around me, getting better every day. But me, I felt like I wasn't improving, and I was disappointing the company, the person who casted me. And I think that was, and my family, and I didn't want to disappoint my family. So apart from all the physical tiredness, that was the most difficult thing for me, was seeing myself not improving and not being able to meet the expectations of the people in the company. So that's how I think, and I took that as an inspiration, as some motivation for me to get rid of that disappointment and make people happy, satisfied the people. I think that I took that as a drive to make me better. As you know, we do a lot of acrobatics, like flipping, doing tumbling, and this was before Heartbeat. Before Heartbeat, we were practicing our dance breaks, and I was supposed to do this really hard move where Tech throws me and I flip, and then the guys pull me up, and Chen-sung would hold me in the air like this. You remember? As we were practicing that, it was before Heartbeat was released, before we did the we filmed the music video, and I hurt my back. And at first I was like, oh, it hurts a little bit, so let's just try one more time and go home. And we did it one more time, and I couldn't get up. So, but then music video was in 2 days, and my back didn't get better by the time I had to film music video. So I wore this supporter thing on my back and my belly, and I filmed the music video like that. Like I danced when I couldn't really walk. So that music video was a really hard day for me, and I had to take a lot of painkillers because of the pain. And I think that was my first injury that was really bad. And then I had to film this advertisement commercial where they put me on this wire, and I had to hang in the air for about like many hours, and that was really hurting my back. So after that commercial, I had to go to the hospital and get 6 injections in my spine, which was really painful. But then that passed, and I got better, and now that I'm too old to do acrobatics, we have our GOT7. Our GOT7, they do all the acrobatics for us now. Not for us, but I mean they're really good, and we don't want to get hurt, because we have to, like when we do concert, when we're doing a show, we would have to be on stage for 3 hours, and we don't want to risk getting hurt halfway through the concert and not being able to finish the concert. So we want to give you a good performance, and I mean, I always take care of myself, by going to the gym and not getting fat or I'm taking vitamins, supplementaries to keep my body ready for concerts and for like meeting you guys, for doing my schedule all day, all night. So I think from now on I will try not to get hurt for you guys. I don't know if this is funny, but I thought it was kind of. It wasn't funny then, but when I think about it now, it's kind of funny. There was a rule that we had to come to work at 10 a.m. in the morning, and we would have to punch the card for the time, so that the managers can check if we were late or not. And they said if one of you, because they wanted us to work on our teamwork, and they wanted us to be one team. So they said if one of you is late or if one of you does anything wrong, causes any problems, you're gonna have to come an hour early. So the first time, one of us was late, and the time got pushed down to 9 o'clock. And then one of us was late, and he asked this other guy to punch the card for him, and then that guy got caught. So we had to come and then they pushed back again. We had to come at 8. And then one of us got caught sleeping in the practice room. So it pushed back again, so we had to come at 7. And then some of us did something wrong, and it was 6 o'clock, and then it was so bad that we had to come to work at 5 a.m. in the morning. And in our company, we have cameras, CCTV, to monitor the trainees, and we would be sleeping like this, and then the managers would be able to see us from the camera, and we would get a phone call. We would pick up, and they would be like, "Kun, wake up, practice." So that was one of the episodes, which wasn't funny back then, but now that we think about it, they wanted us to practice more. And now that I think back, I know why practicing is so important, because now that I don't have time to practice, really, I don't even have time to go to the company, to go to the practice room. I see how important practice is like the word, like the sentence that goes, practice makes perfect. Sometimes when before I do a stage, I have to practice a lot, but since I don't have a lot of time, to practice, so that reduces my confidence. And you need a lot of confidence to be in front of a lot, like 5,000 or 8,000 people in front of on the stage. And now the importance of practice really hits me, and when I think back, I think to myself, I should have practiced more. I should have listened to them, and be a better trainee. But now that it's too late, I just have to make do with the time that I have, which is not a lot. Like now, we would finish work at, I don't know, let's say 12 a.m. midnight. And then we would have to go to the company to practice until maybe 4 a.m. and then go in, sleep, and wake up again at maybe like 7 or 8 a.m. But that is something that we can't miss. We can't just not do, because practice is that important. Before we became 2 p.m., they wanted us to do a reality survival program, TV program on TV, to see whether we can work together and be a team, and that's how this Hot Blood Guys program started. At first, we just did photo shoot for the profile pictures and whatnot, and then after one episode, they told us that we're gonna go to this island and we're gonna go fishing. so that we can bond and we can get to know one another and be a good team. And they said that we would go for only 1 or 2 nights. And we were really excited to go because we never got to go out together as a big group. And we were just like, okay, we're gonna go and we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have this samgyeopsal party. We're gonna go fishing. We're gonna go on a boat and everything. So we started packing and then we left. We took a boat ride to this island. And at that night we really did. We had this samgyeopsal party, and we split into 2 groups and we did like some shows, just fun shows, funny shows for each other. And then they told us that we need to sleep early because we have an early morning tomorrow because we have to catch a boat, a ship, to go fishing. So we slept at around 9 to 10 p.m. And I think it was around 6 a.m. when someone opened the door and he blew on his whistle, and he was yelling at us, telling us to get up and come into the living room. And we were really confused about like what was going on. So we got out and we came into the living room, and there stood 2, which at the time looked to me like 2 army soldiers with red hat. And then he threw down this pile of clothes and he was like, get ready and come out in 5 minutes. And we were really confused. So we were like asking each other like, what is going on? So we came out late, and he made us run a lot. So yeah, that was what the program was about. If whether you can prove yourself to be a man, you can prove yourself that in hard times, whether you can work together or not. And because if one falls, the rest falls. And it taught us that lesson. Like when we would in the morning, if one of us was late, it was, even if it was snowing, the 2 soldiers made us take off our shirts and run in the snow, which was really cold. And so that was just a punishment for making a mistake, which if we were to become a team, that is not really an option to make. And if one goes down, like I said, the rest goes down. So we would have to be careful with everything that we do. And that was what the program Hot-Blooded Guys was all about. And like I said, like before that, when I was doing that program, it was really hard for us. But now that we think about it, it was a really good lesson for all of us. After the show Hot-Blooded Guys, they determined who would be 2 p.m., which we became a group. But then I don't think we celebrated because we haven't really started anything, and we were still just nobody, just trainees, and we still had a long way to go. We would have to select a title song. We would have to practice the routine for it, and we'd have to film the music video and shoot the album jacket shoot and everything. So at the time, we were actually worried whether we could make it to the top, whether we could survive in this industry, because at the time there was Xingqiu, and there was Rain, there was Big Bang, and just a lot of competitions out there. And at the time, we didn't even think about being as good as them. We just wanted to be somewhat recognized for our work, and we just looked up to those people as our idols. That they've worked so hard to be where they are, and we have to work hard as a team to get to that point one day. We didn't even know if we were gonna get there or how long it would take. It might take 5 years or 10 years, and it might not even happen. So it was more than happy. It was more of a scary thought to be in that position, because so many stars, so many groups came out thinking that they would make it, but then a lot of them never really make it, and it's really sad because I know how hard people work to become a group, but it's just very harsh environment, because not everybody can become a star, Well, you all know all the members in my group. The oldest one is Junke, and then that's me, Nichkhun, and then Taekyeon, and then Uyong, Juno Chansong, right? Who's the most funny? Right? Uyong would have to be the most funny guy. Me? I'm funny? Really? No, I don't think I'm funny, but I think Uyong. Well, Uyong makes. Oh, thank you. But I mean, Uyong makes everyone in the group laugh, and he, when we're really stressed out and really tired, he actually makes us really lively and bright, and laugh, makes the atmosphere better. And Taekyeon is more of like a manager for the group. He would take care of, when we would have something to say to the top head manager or to Jin Young Young. He would gather our ideas and thoughts on the subject, and he would say, okay, I will talk to him for you. And Junke now has become the producer of our group. He's very talented. He has found his passion for music, and he actually pursued his passion for music, and now he has become a full-time producer for our group and for himself, and for other people too. So I'm really proud of him that he found his passion for that. And we talked about Juno. Juno is like he's like a little boy, very playful, very curious, and he's one of those guys who wants to try everything. So he's now doing he's producing, acting, and his solo albums and concert. And I think he's a young kid who's trying to make the most of what he has right now, of his fame right now. So I really admire him for that. And Chansong is, even though he's the youngest one, he doesn't look like it. Sometimes I feel like I should call him Hyung. Not only because of his looks, but he likes to read a lot. And that's really good. That's really cool of him, because reading really gives you a lot of ideas and really makes you mature and makes you a better person. You know more from reading. And he would say a lot of meaningful words, and he would say a lot of things with reasons. So that's why I said maybe sometimes I should call him Hyung, because he has a lot of reasons. He doesn't really get mad a lot. He knows how to explain every situation, and he knows how other people feel, and he knows why they act the way they act, and so which is a good thing. We have a little bit of everything in our group. We have, sometimes I would complain, and some other guys in the group would say, no, this happens because of this, or sometimes the other guys would say something, and it would be like, it happens for a reason, and it happens because of this reason. So as a group, I think we're really strong, because our friendship and our teamwork has never once died down. As we have always been a really good team, good support towards each other, and I think that's what's really important about a group, or a group of workers or a group of friends, is that you trust each other, you have faith in each other, and you support each other no matter what, through good times and bad times and hard times. Even though one of us makes a mistake, it doesn't matter, because we're still a family, and we still support each other, and we still say positive things and make sure that everything is going to be okay. So I think that's what makes a good team, and I think 2PM has that, and I'm really proud and happy to be a part of 2PM. So after we became 2PM and we made a debut, we went through a lot of struggles and a lot of hard times, actually. And then we worked really hard to prove ourselves that we're a good team, and that we can always be better, and that we have a lot of good fans, and that thanks to a lot of support from our fans all over the world, and a good team, I think we were able to break the ice, to come out of the shell and be popular. But I mean, during that time, it took a lot of work. It took a lot of effort, and we would want to be better by doing acrobatics and whatnot, and people would get hurt. Like Junho got hurt from trying to make a better performance, and I think that's what important about being a celebrity or being a performer, is that you always have to be better. You can't stay still, and you can't do the same thing over and over, or your fans or the viewers are gonna get bored. And the trend keeps changing. The trend changes so fast nowadays that we have to catch up with the trend, and we have to be the trendsetters, and we have to always be 2 steps ahead of the trend, and we have to create new things, new performances, new stages for you guys and for the viewers. I think that's what's really hard about my job, is to always come up with something that people haven't done before. And sometimes, and it's more like gambling, because with work like music and movies, you never know what people are gonna like and what people aren't gonna like. So like sometimes this song sounds really good to me, and this dance looks really good to me, and I think it's gonna work. But then when it comes out, people might not like it, and sometimes it hurts me, because we have put a lot of sweat and we've put a lot of work effort into this album, and then it comes out and people don't really like it. So it's hard, because you can't predict what is gonna become a big hit or what's not, and what people are gonna like and what people aren't gonna like. So I think that's one of the hardest things of becoming 2PM, is to always discover the undiscoverable, which is what will be popular, which I think that's the hardest thing in becoming 2PM.
那你平时是怎么控制体重的呢？比如说保持自己一个完美的体型，这方面有没有什么小诀窍？
And how do you usually control your weight, and how to keep your best shape, keep in your best shape? And do you have some tricks that you can teach us?
Well, to a lot of people, when I say this, they would get mad at me. But I get really stressed out because I cannot gain weight. And I know by saying this, I make a lot of people mad. But as a 2PM, the beastie idols, Jinfu, we always have to be muscular and we always have to be in shape, which means we cannot be either skinny or fat. And by me not gaining weight, it really stresses me out. Then I have to eat like 6 meals a day, which is like twice more than other guys. And I don't have time to eat because I'm always working. And when I lose weight, that really bothers me. But then I would have to go to the gym. Since I don't gain fat, I would have to gain muscles. So I would go to the gym and work out so that I can take off my shirt for you guys. Not now. But I think that but the other guys, some of them gain weight. So before we do a photo shoot or before we come out with an album, they would go on a diet for about a month by eating chicken breast, sweet potato, banana, and vegetables, with no dressing or sauce. So you know how that feels. Is yeah. So in a way, I am lucky that I don't have to do that. So I can eat whatever I want. I can eat pizzas, hamburgers, meat, fried stuff, anything. But I mean, if I have any tricks, samgyeopsal, yeah. But if I have any tricks for dieting, no, I don't have any tricks for you guys because I don't really control my weight. I just have to gain weight. No, I think a part of this job is like being on stage is to put on an act. Like when you sing a song, you have to act with song. Like if a song is a strong, manly song, then you would have to act manly. Or if it's a soft love song, then you would have to act like you're in love. Or if it's a cute song, you would have to act cute. But when I'm not on stage or when I'm not acting in front of the camera, as you all might know, I take myself really just lightly and I like to be natural. Like I don't really care with what I dress, and I don't have any requirements of the ways I conduct myself in front of the public when I'm not working, so as long as it's appropriate, I do whatever that is natural to me, that's comfortable to me, that's convenient to me. So I don't like, you don't like me to be fake, right? You don't like fake people, and I don't want to be fake to you guys. So I try my best to be natural when I'm in front of you guys. Always. Well, I guess when I started getting, I started getting more letters from my fans, and more presents from my fans. And when I would come out of the company, even when I was a trainee, they would give me a drink or something to eat because they know I'm tired. I don't know. I think that's when it all started. But you guys say always, then sure, always, always. Thank you, 谢谢. Thank you, you guys. Thank you for coming today. Thank you for always supporting me too.
On street.
Long time ago. I don't remember. It's very, very vague to me. Do you remember? No. Always. No, I don't remember. I don't remember. Because my fans are really nice, and I mean, some like let's say when I was filming my drama in Xiamen, my fans would come out to see me film, but then at first I was really worried that it might be a problem because of the camera angle. You guys might be in the camera, but then when the first day I arrived at the scene, the set, my fans were all lined up, and they were really quiet. And when I was filming, they would stay quiet and they would not interfere with my filming. So, I think I really have the nicest and loveliest fans in the world. So, thank you all for that. So I mean, if you ask me which is the most impressive days that I've ever met my fans, like you say, every time is very impressive because the way that you give me love, it feels like I can never return the same love that you guys give me. So, I guess by working harder, by being in more dramas or sing more songs or do more concerts, that's how I return my love to you guys. So always and forever, I thank you guys. Okay. Every time, because for you guys to give me something, it takes a lot of thoughts and it takes a lot of love and care for you guys to actually go out to buy something to give me or to write even a letter. For me, I always tell my fans that don't buy me anything expensive. If you were to buy me anything expensive, just spend that money for a charity or donation or something to help the people that really need this money. And my fans really, really do listen to me, and they would go out and donate something, and they would send me the certification paper to show me that they did this under my name, under the fan club's name. And I'm really thankful to have such lovely fans that actually want to do that for me. But as for gifts, every gift is lovely, and I thank you for giving me all the gifts and letters, candies and food and drinks. Because even the littlest gift shows me that you guys love me. So all the gifts are the same to me, which is love from you guys. So, I wouldn't say that because this gift is more expensive than this one, I like this one more, this one is more impressive. No, everything is the same, and it just means love from you guys. As you know, I shot a drama, a Chinese drama. The name is so long, I always forget. 1又2分之一的夏天 yeah. And this is actually my first full drama ever in my life, and I'm really happy to be able to film that drama in China, and for you guys to see. So this drama started by my manager asked me if I wanted to do some more activities in China, and I said of course, because I have you guys, I have my fans in China too. So he gave me this offer that there's a drama, it's gonna be very good. The script is really good, and they want you to be a part of it. So I said yes right away, of course, and so we started filming. And I mean, this drama, I play this guy named Zhang Hao, and he's a student from America, and this guy goes to Greece, Santorini, and he meets this girl. Yes, and he falls in love with her, but it turns out that, and she just disappears from Greece, and he finds out that she's from China, from this university. So he follows her all the way to China to find the girl that he fell in love with in Greece. And the story happens when he meets these guys, my friends, my new friends that I make in China. Yes. And the story is about friendship and first love, and it's pretty and about college life in China. How a foreigner, a Chinese American guy, adapts into the Chinese environment, into the college life in China, and how he deals with the problems he runs into because of the cultural difference. And I think, and the director, he filmed this drama kind of like a movie. So, the colors are really pretty, the pictures are really pretty. The scenery, especially, is just mind-blowing. It's really pretty. And I think you guys will like it. And, as my first acting job, I'm really nervous about the feedback from you guys and from the viewers all over China and all over the world. And I don't know if I did a good enough job that when people see it, they're gonna like it or not. But I mean, I'm pretty happy about the work and about the people that I met. All these people are really good and nice to me, and they're very talented. So when I had any problems with acting, they would help me a lot, and their acting actually helped my acting, because acting is reacting, and if my partner is good, then I become better in automatically. So you guys don't miss it. I think you guys will like it. I do believe in love at first sight. When you, especially in a situation like Zhang Hao, because he's in a foreign country, he's traveling alone, and then this beautiful girl is traveling alone, and then when they meet, of course it's gonna spark something. When you see someone beautiful or someone handsome, you would be attracted to that person instantly. So I do believe that this kind of love can happen, but the question of this drama is, can this love at first sight or this first love work out? Love can happen at any time with anybody, but because of the difference in personalities or the situations that are given, sometimes love does not work out, and sometimes it works out in a different way that you don't expect it to. And I think that's what this drama is all about, is talking about love and friendship. Is pretty much friendship will last forever, but will love last? I think that's the main point for this drama, and that's what you guys should be looking for. Well, first, what I think of Jinfu, he's a very talented actor, and he's actually really good at English. So he helped me a lot during the shoot with my acting or with getting to know other actors and actresses. And my relationship with him in this drama, when I first come to China, him and Dashun are the two. Dashun. Xun. They're the first two people that I run into, first two friends that I run into, and Zhang Jinfu he's this really smart straight A student and top of the class, president of the students board, whatnot. So he's like an excellent, perfect guy that all girls in the college love. And as time goes by, at first I'm envious of him because he has everything. He's smart. He knows everything. But as time goes by, it turns around that he's actually living a very strict and very not a fun life. And me, I don't really care about anything. I'm just very free and open because I'm just living my life and just having fun with what I'm doing. And actually, at first I learned from him, and then after a while he starts to learn from me how to live his life with and how to do what he wants to do. And I think the relationship grows as the story grows, that we fall in love with the same girl. Who is that girl? I don't know. You guys have to watch it. Jinfu in real life, he's really nice, and he gave me a lot of advices, and we went to the gym together a couple times, and I had to play basketball in this drama, and I'm really bad at basketball, and Jinfu is really good. He's like an athlete. So he taught me how to dribble and how to shoot and how the steps of how to play basketball. So in general, he's really nice, and he's actually really playful. He's not a serious person at all, but when he's working, he's very very serious and very focused. So I looked up to him when I was working too, because when he would work, he would not play. He would if he needed to look at his scripts and remember the lines, memorize the lines, he would not do anything else but that. So in a way, that character is kind of like him, but but then he has another side to him, which is like playful and fun. And he made a lot of jokes, and he made me laugh a lot. So we actually got along really well. Yeah, I guess it's Da Xun, Da Xun. Okay. I think because me and Da Xun, we have a lot of scenes together, and Jinfu, not a lot with Li Chang though, because he's the quiet guy of he doesn't come out from the dorm. So I'm more closer to these two, and he's Da Xun is very playful. He's like a little kid too. So he asked me if I like to play games, and then I said yes. So he bought me some games so that we can play together online. From Taobao. and he taught me all about Taobao. And the joke is 250 He actually taught me that one. At first he was kind of making fun of me by giving me 250 renminbi. He was like, here, this is you. He gave it to me and just 这是你. And I was like, what? Why are you giving me money? And then he told me later that it means tabo. And then he would say, 你是啥? 你查. And at first I thought he meant something good, but then he would start laughing. So I kind of caught on. So I was like, 我查, 你也查. But he's really nice, and he's a very good actor too. And in this drama, he plays a really funny guy, and he did a really good job with that. And he made me NG a lot. Yeah, He made the crew enjoy a lot because he was so funny. We couldn't stop laughing. And his acting was so good that it really helped me, and I learned a lot from him too. So in this scene, we went there. We went there to film this scene, and it was really nice and beautiful and really quiet. And I heard from the staffs that it was Jinfu's birthday on that day. So I asked the staffs to buy a cake for him, and then the director was like, okay, I'm gonna make a plan to trick him. I'm gonna say that there's an extra scene that he needs to film. So the camera is gonna be on top, and he's gonna face this way, while the rest of the crew would walk out from the back with a cake without him knowing. And we did that, and we surprised him with the cake, and he was really I think he almost cried too, because he was so touched by that. And I mean, that just goes to show that, you know, as we worked together, we all became friends, and you know, we all became really close to each other. And it was really something memorable for the shoot and for the team, the crew, and the cast. And that day, I think that was the last scene of the day. So we celebrated with his birthday and on the last scene. So it was a really nice day, and we all had a very memorable time. It's not really a dance, but I just kind of make a wave with my eyebrow. It wasn't in the script, but they said I should make some funny faces so that Jinfu can smile, because in the drama, Jinfu is someone who doesn't smile. He's very serious about his studies. So they said, you know, you should do something to make him smile. So that's what came out, and I guess you guys like it, and I guess the director likes it. I try to speak in. I mean, the whole thing was supposed to be in English because, you know, I can't speak Chinese, but I asked the director to let me speak in Chinese whenever I can, you know, because I wanted to show that I want to become a Chinese star, not a foreign star, not a foreign celebrity. I want to become, because I am by blood Chinese, so I want to become a Chinese one of you. So I try to speak Chinese whenever I could. And 大勋. And Shulu would always make fun of my Chinese. In one of the scenes, I had to say, 我们报警吧. 报警吧. Call the police? Right? Call the police. 我们报警. So in one of the scenes, it wasn't in the script, because all in my scripts it was all English. So the director taught me this words to say, and I didn't tell the other guys in the scene that I would say it in Chinese. So I was acting, and we're like, 我们报警吧. And then they looked at me, and they were like, and they started laughing. And from then on, they would make fun of my Chinese, and one of the lines was, 他的婷婷的网上又疼了. So yeah. So it was really awkward for me to say that, because I don't really fully understand the language or what I was saying. And I mean, I wanted to show that I was trying to speak in Chinese as well. And anything that was easy and that wouldn't interfere with my acting. I would try to say, and I think the director and my fellow actors and actresses really appreciate that, because if I spoke all in English, they wouldn't really understand what I was saying, and vice versa, because like I don't understand Chinese, so I don't understand what they're saying. So I think it's a courtesy for me to at least speak some Chinese so that my partner would understand what I'm saying and be able to react to what I'm saying. And I think I learned a lot of Chinese when I was filming, but it's been a year, so I kind of forgot it all. Yeah. I'm planning to be coming to China a lot more, and do a lot more activities here. Maybe some events, maybe with 2 p.m. too. And I mean, I want to build my fan base in China. I want it to be bigger. I want to work in China more and see you guys more. And maybe one day I'll do solo fan meeting, or I want to have more chances to meet you guys, and same thing to you. I want to give you guys more chances to meet me in real life, not just in pictures and in drama. So I think you guys can really expect and look forward to my future activities, because as of from this promotion on, I think I'm really gonna be coming to China a lot more. 老干妈 When I was filming in Xiamen, the food, I really liked the food, but then I think it was Shulu. Shulu. She introduced 老干妈 to me, and from that day on, I bought one for myself and I carried it around wherever I go, so that I can eat with rice. Yeah, I eat it. And actually, my members tried it too. And they love it. Especially Chansong. He was like, "What is this? Where do you get this?" I'm like, "China." Actually, he's coming today. Chansong is coming today. So I think we might eat with him today. Beijing. Language. In Korea, I would be able to speak more freely, but in China, I would have to have a translator like next to me. So, like last time, I had this translator, and she really went through a lot to help me out, and she was kind of like my manager plus interpreter. So I think that's the only difference between China and Korea, and even Thailand, because in Thailand and Korea I can understand everything, but in China I can't understand anything. So, but as time went by, I learned a bunch of Chinese words that I needed to learn, like 站着左一遍开机开始 So just I think that's the only difference. Okay, so I mean, I've been talking a lot by myself, and I'm sure you guys have a lot of curious questions that you guys want to ask me. So since there are a lot of you guys, why don't we just start a Q&A, and we'll take some questions from you guys. Okay? Yeah. Okay. Let's start.
Hi, Nichkhun. I know you've received your treatment from the Thai Prime Minister, and you also have a stature in Thailand, right?
Uh-huh.
So have you think about to move back to Thailand to develop your career?
You know, I don't think about moving anywhere to develop my career because you know wherever duty calls I will go, but you know Thailand is my home and my family lives there. But you know I mean like wherever if work calls in Korea I would go to Korea, and work calls here I would come here, and you know I would like to develop my career everywhere in the world, you know, as much as I can. So as long as you guys, my fans, will follow me, you know, I would go, you know, wherever it takes, wherever I can go. So Thailand, Japan, Korea, China, America, wherever there's work, you know, I will go there. Thank you for the question.
What is your impression of Chinese girl before you came to China, and now anything changed about it?
My impression in Chinese girls? Lovely. Beautiful. I know Chinese girls are very passionate, right? And very loving and very caring. And I mean, that's what I thought before I came to China. And when I came to China, it's like what I thought. You guys are very caring, very supportive, and you guys love me, so right? So I mean, I don't know. I don't want to compare. I don't really want to compare, you know, the girls from this country or girls from this country, because I think that my fans all around the world are all the same because you guys all love one person, same person, right? Yes. And to love the same person, that means you guys all have the same heart. And I mean, we all, even in the same country, we all have different personalities and different ways of living your lives. And so, you know, I don't want to say all girls are the same. I just want to say the girls who love me are all the same to me in my eyes. Again, thank all of you guys for coming out today. It's been a very special day for me, and you know this is my first time to be really talking for a long time in front of my fans or in front of anybody, and you know I always thank you guys for supporting me and loving me. And I will try to do more activities in China so you guys can see me more. Like I said, maybe some fan meetings, maybe more dramas, more movies, or more TV shows, so that you guys can see me more often. And you know, and my drama this time, I want you guys to watch it and tell me really honestly what you guys think about my acting and everything, you know. So thank you all for coming out again today, and you know I hope you guys are healthy, and you know don't forget to eat. And hopefully I will see you again very, very soon. This afternoon? See you guys again very, very soon. Okay, thank you so much. 谢谢，再见。